Hello and welcome to the 86th episode of the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit video podcast. My name is Kimberly, also known as Sock Bunny, and today is Monday, June 10th, 2013. I'm recording in sunny Florida in the United States of America. Thank you very much for joining me today. And if you are a new viewer, I really hope you like what you see and that you will come back. I am Sock Bunny pretty much everywhere, such as MyFitnessPal, Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, Google+, Twitter, iTunes, YouTube, and Blip.tv. I'm also on the Fitbit website, and if you want to friend to me there, you need my email address, and the email address I use for that is sockrabbit@gmail.com. And the blog for the show is at sockbunnyknitandfit.blogspot.com. The email address is sockbunnyknitandfit@gmail.com. And the Etsy shop is sockbunnystudios.etsy.com. So, what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about fitness, finished objects, works in progress, knit and crochet alongs, book review, spinning, stash enhancement, tips and tricks, favorite things, what I am watching and reading. And um, I didn't record yesterday, which is Sunday. And although, oh, sorry, my allergies are bothering me. It's one of those days. Although I had intended to, I was actually really depressed yesterday, and I'm still in the middle of this season, I guess you could call it. My depression is not really situational, it's more like a chemical imbalance. And so it comes in waves. It's sort of like a roller coaster. It comes in waves, and I just have to ride it out, and then it'll go away for a while. And I always hope it's not going to come back. So I'm in the midst of one right now. I'm hoping that it will pass very soon because I'm really, really getting annoyed with it. Um, I have nothing to be depressed about. So, and nothing has triggered this. Nothing has happened or anything like that. It's just something that happens to me. So, I don't know what else to say. So today is Monday. So the last few weeks I keep saying I'm going to record on Sunday, and I don't. So this week I'm going to say I'm not recording on Sunday, and maybe I will. um, I am going to open a thread in the Sock Bunny Ravelry group, and I'm going to call it Ask Sock Bunny. And other podcasters have done this, and I've wanted to do it for a while. You can ask me any question. It could be a knitting question or a personal question, and I will answer it as long as it's something I would feel comfortable answering on here, of course. And you can ask me anything you want, and each week I'll pick a question and answer it on the podcast. Um, I am gonna. Oh, I did have a shop update. Well, I am currently having a shop update. Again, I didn't do it yesterday. I will talk about why coming up, why it didn't happen yesterday. But I do want to show you what is going in the shop today. I have 3 skeins, and it's not quite showing up as dark as it is in real life. It's a very sunny day here today. It's a little bit darker in real life, but this is what I call Police Call Box. It's on the Sparkle base, which is my sunshine base. There you go. I have 3 skeins of that Police Call Box. And then I have 2 skeins. I believe this colorway is Admiralty, but I would have to double check. But this is my lace weight, which I call Lavender Lace Weight. I have 2 skeins of that. And again, it's not quite as blue as it is in real life. And then lastly, I have a couple of skeins of Midnight Forest, which is like a forest green and grays and browns. That's also on the sparkly base, which is my sunshine base. So by the time you see this, these will be in the shop. I didn't do the shop update yesterday because, like I said, I was feeling really depressed yesterday. So I decided around lunchtime to leave and go to Busch Gardens for the day. And my intention was to get some sun, which I obviously need, and also to get in my 10,000 steps for the day. Well, I got the steps. It over here, I live about half an hour away from Busch Gardens. Over here, it wasn't raining, it wasn't cloudy or anything. Well, by the time I got over there, it was starting to look cloudy, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to rain, although it is Florida. So I went in, I took my umbrella with me, and I went into the park. And as soon as the tram from the parking lot pulled in to to the entrance, it started raining. And it rained for about an hour, but it was a light rain, so that was okay. And I was just walking around and looking at the animals and all that kind of stuff. And then the sun came out for about an hour, and then it started storming. So I got like an hour's worth of sun. Um, I am sorry for the nose today. So I got like an hour's worth of sun, but it's Florida. So, and then of course, by the time I got back home, it wasn't raining. But the storm was headed this way, so I did get to feed some flamingos. I was over admiring the flamingos, as I always do when I go there. And I usually stand there for at least 15 minutes, half an hour, looking at the flamingos and talking to them. And um, the zookeeper, I guess you would call her, was there feeding the flamingos. And she had some little pellets. And she said, "Do you want to feed the flamingos?" Yes. So I got to feed the flamingos. I just held the pellets in my hand, and they came up and ate the pellets out of my hand. And I was super excited. I was there by myself, and I didn't really feel comfortable asking her to take a picture of me. Although I should have, you know. If anybody would have been with me, I would have asked them to take a picture, but that's okay. I have the memory. That's all that really matters. So, and I did tell her that I have been tempted to take one of the flamingos home with me in my purse. And she said, "Well, flamingos don't like to be alone. So if you're going to steal one, you should at least steal two." And I have no problem with that. So anyway, that was the highlight of my day yesterday. So I came home last night and I knit. You know, that was a really terrible day, right? Um, so let's see. As far as fitness goes, I did work out only twice this week. I went to spin class on Monday and then again on Saturday. And oh, and I wanted to say that we have the confirmed flights for Sarah now for when she's coming home. If you're a new viewer, Sarah goes to college in Rhode Island, and she's going to be coming home this summer for a couple of weeks, which is yay, really exciting. And she's this is how the plan is going to go. I'm going to drive to Atlanta on Sunday, the 23rd, and spend the night with my friend Sandy, the one who I stayed with. If you'll remember when I went to Stitches, I made the bee leaf shawl and gave it to her and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, and her daughter is Sarah's classmate. Well, they're both going to be coming home on Monday, the 24th. So I'll arrive on Sunday. They'll arrive on Monday. Rachel might be going with me, and then we're going to stay a few days, come home either like Thursday or Friday, and then Sarah will be here for 2 weeks after that. So I am beyond excited and I cannot wait. So the Etsy shop will be closed that Sunday, the 23rd, and there won't be a shop update. So the next shop update will be this Sunday, the 16th, and that'll be the last one until July. And I'll close the shop until I come home, whatever day that is, Thursday or Friday. While we're there, I might get to go to the Coke Museum again. We're talking about maybe going to the Coke Museum, the aquarium, and IKEA. I've only ever been to the IKEA here in Tampa, so I'd really like to go to one in another city. And Sandy and her daughter April have never been to IKEA, so they're about to have their mind blown. I think they'll like it. Okay, so fitness. We have a fitness alone going in the Sock Bunny group. Any day you work out at least 30 consecutive minutes, or if you are wearing a pedometer and it registers at least 10,000 steps, you can have one entry per day in that month's workout thread. At the end of the month, I draw a winner, and the winner gets to choose either a $5 giftable pattern from Ravelry or some yarn or fiber that I will dye for you in up to 3 colors, or you could choose something that's already in the Etsy shop. And we also have a fitness poster along, which you need to post your posters the first 7 days of the month. And we've already passed the entries for June. But if you want to join in the poster along, go over and read the June thread, and I'll be doing the same thing in July, and you would need to do your poster the first 7 days in July. It makes more sense when you read it in a thread. So we have a winner to draw for May. We had 14 people start and finish fitness posters in May, and I am super proud of all of you. So I'm going to read everybody, and then I'm going to draw a winner. So, and the winner this month is going to get either from me a $5 giftable pattern or something from my shop, or I can custom dye something for you. So it's the same thing as the monthly prize winner this month. If you want to donate something to the fitness along, just let me know. So we have 14 people who started and finished the month of May with their fitness posters. So they are Linda, Suzanne, Melissa, Diana, Kristen, Jennifer, Donna, Jessie, Jenna, Lori, Michelle, Amy, Allison, and Scotty. Yay! I am very proud of all of you. So I'm going to draw the winner. And you can see I haven't drawn yet. It's number 1 to 14. And generate number, it is number 10, and that is Michelle, Nitty Witty Shell, yay! And so, Michelle, let me know what you would like for your prize, either a $5 giftable pattern, or I will send you something from the shop. And I ran out of stickers, so I cannot show you my current poster for my poster along. If you're a new viewer, what I'm doing is I'm working towards 1,000 miles, and when I get to that 1,000 miles, I get to go spend a few days at a hotel at Disney World that I've wanted to stay at since I was a little girl, and I am currently at 795 miles out of my 1,000 miles. So I only have 205 miles, which is roughly equivalent to 10 spin classes, because I generally do about 20 miles, a little bit less, a little bit more sometimes. So 10 spin classes away. If I really, really wanted to, I could do that in 2 weeks. I probably won't. It'll probably be, well, yeah, 3 or 4 weeks. What I want to do, once I've earned it, as I'm going to look, because I know that they have a lot of races at Disney, and I want to do a 5K at one of the parks. I think like Epcot has a 5K, and they generally do their 5Ks like early in the morning before the parks open. So I want to have my trip correspond with that. So the trip may not even happen until the fall, but at least I will have earned it. And then my next goal that I'm already working towards is I want to get an iPad or some sort of tablet. I haven't decided yet, and I don't have to decide for a while because I have a ways to go. My next goal, and I did just a little Excel spreadsheet for this, but I do want to make an official poster, is I am working towards 3,650,000 steps, and that is 365 times 10,000, because I want to do 10,000 steps a day for a year. Of course, if I do more than 10,000 steps a day, it'll happen in less than a year. We'll see. Currently, I think I'm in the 200,000 step area. I don't remember exactly, but so this will be the next poster that I make. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And each yellow place is every 300,000 steps. And every 300,000 steps, I will earn a prize. And then, of course, I get the grand prize at the bottom, which is the iPad or a tablet. I haven't decided. So, that's it for fitness. Let's move into finished objects. None. Let's move into works in progress. Works in progress. I did make some progress on my Tappan Zee, which is my sweater. This is a free pattern from Nitty.com. It's called Tappan Zee. And this is made out of my very own hand-dyed Sugar DK. And yes, it's that green. And this is my Sugar DK that I have in the shop. It's Superwash Merino. And thank goodness I am not in the middle of a row. You can see where I was last week. Let me hold it back here. Where I was last week is where this little pink hickey jiggy is. Let me show you the back first because it's always the easiest to show. Well, that is the back. Yes, it's that green. And I modified it. If you'll remember, I've said this before. I modified it. There's a second row of diamonds that goes here, but I didn't like that, so I just did plain. So you can see. I'm not going to try it on this week. You won't be able to see any difference now that I've gotten so far along. There we go. La la. I love it. I love it. It's actually a little bit yellower, brighter than what you're even seeing on the screen there. I'm super excited. So I love it very much. I think I have approximately 20 rows left. So maybe next week. The thing with the sweaters I'm finding out is that when I first start them, I can make really good progress because I can knit on them for a long time. But when they start getting heavy, I can only maybe do 10 rows at a time because the weight of it will make my wrists start hurting. So when I get towards the bottom of a sweater, I really slow down because of the weight of it. And that's just the nature of the beast. Unless I knit a sweater in pieces, which I'm finding I really like these top down. So I have not decided what my next sweater is going to be, although I'm leaning towards using some of the yarn I got from Webs at Stitches. That's the direction I'm leaning, because those yarns are cotton acrylic blends, cotton acrylic wool blends, I believe. So we'll see. Okay, so that's that. Now let's talk about Sockstravaganza. Sockstravaganza, I will talk about it and then I'll show the madness. Sockstravaganza is a knit along that we're having in the Sock Bunny group. It is for It's for 3 months, running from June 1st through August 31st. You could use the project tag Sockstravaganza, and what you're going to do is knit adult socks. The socks, as long as they, on June 1st, were less than half done, the pair was at least less than half done, you can enter them in this contest. There's a general thread, and then there are also the following threads. Design your own socks. Why do I look orange? It's the lighting today. There's not a cloud in the sky today. I should have gone to Busch Gardens today. Anyway, so there's a general thread. There's design your own socks, self-striping yarn, lace, vanilla, color work, socks knit with sock bunny yarn, pictures of socks being knit in public, and socks from a book. And all the descriptions and rules are in each of those threads. So you can post in the general thread and then any corresponding threads that happen to fit your socks. So for example, my Star Trek socks are, let's see, those would go in the general and the self-striping and the lace. Yes. Wait, no, 4, because those are from a book. So 4. Those would go into 4 categories. So if you have any questions, there's a chatter thread. Ask the questions there. We have a ton of prizes and we have more coming. So I want to just mention who all has donated prizes. If you want to see the prizes, go over and look in the prize thread. We have some project bags from Judy Lee 59 Knits, some project bags from Unique Designs on Big Cartel, some several skeins of sock yarn from me, a pattern from Deborah Tomasello, a pattern from Retro Lemon, a secret prize from Lem Knit Crochet, a pattern from Java Pearl, a pattern from Tina, Blooming Knitter, 3 skeins of sock yarn from Melanie, 4 Kitties Have I, and I still haven't posted those pictures, but I will. Actually, I should do that today. Yarn from Colleen, who is DC Knitter, which I'm going to show you in a second. And I know we have some more coming soon. So I'm going to show you what DC Knitter sent. Not all of this is going to be applied towards this because she sent so much that I'm actually going to hold some of it back because we do have a charity hat drive in the fall, and also knit along for my bee leaf shawl. I'm going to save some of these for those. She sent so much I had to put it in a basket. Okay. Let me bring the basket over here. So thank you very much, Colleen, for these. I really appreciate it. And and she's the hostess of the DC Knitter podcast. Wait, it's DC Unraveled. Yeah, that's the name of the podcast. I love her podcast. She talks about history, the history of the city and stuff like that. Oh, what did I do it? Okay. Anyway, she talks about the history of Washington D.C. It's super super interesting. She also like talks about the history of knitting. She travels a lot, so she talks about her travels, and she was just on a trip to Europe recently and talked about that. Very very interesting. So. These are all the yarns that she donated. Like I said, some of them are going to be prizes for this knit along, and then some of them I'm going to save for the other two knit alongs we have coming up. So, first, she sent from Zen Yarn Garden this beautiful yarn. And I'm not going to go through all the descriptions of what these are right now because that just would take too long. But this is beautiful. That's from Zen Yarn Garden. And then this is from also from Zen Yarn Garden. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. This is also from Zen Yarn Garden. Like that a lot. In a bluish colorway from Cherry Tree Hill. Color Slate is what this one's called. Cherry Tree Hill sock yarn. This is some lace weight, and there are 4 of these little cute little hanks. I love how they did this. Look at that. Looks like a little wreath. There's 4 of these. This is Artisan New Zealand Merino lace weight. Trying to see how many yards. Let's see, there's 300 meters in each of these, so there's 4, so that's 1,200 meters, and I think you get more yards than meters, if I remember right. So anyway, there's 4 of those. They're adorably gorgeous. That I will probably hold off for the lace knit along because whoever does the lace knit along obviously likes knitting with lace. So, this is Zen Yarn Gardens again. Reds and grays. And then there are 2 skeins of this, which is Dreaming Color Smushy. Very pretty, and those will go together. And then lastly, she sent some Sock Yarnista from 3 Irish Girls. And there's 4 different colors here, so I'm assuming it's for doing either a gradient or a color work or something like that. That's really cool. Maple Vanilla is the colorway. So that's all the yarn that she sent. And she also sent me this really cute little picture of Mary and Jesus. It's actually a relief. It's very gorgeous. And it is going to have a place of honor over here on my shelf. I don't want to shine too much. There you go. Pretty. So thank you so much, DC Knitter. I really, really appreciate all the prizes, and I will. My goal is to get pictures updated and all that jazz done today. So those are more Sockstravaganza prizes. Now let's talk about the Sockstravaganza madness that has been going on in my house. So, I currently have 9 pairs of socks on the needles. 9! And only one of them was on the needles before I started the Sockstravaganza. Crazy! And I have at least 1 more pair that I want to cast on. And the title of this podcast is officially, I can stop anytime I want to. Meaning, I can stop casting on socks anytime. I just choose not to. So, let's talk about these socks that I have on the needles. I had to make a list. And actually, next week, I'm going to talk about how in the world am I keeping track of all these socks, because this is just insanity. And I've got a system worked out, and I will talk about it next week. I don't want to talk about it this week to save time, but next week I will discuss how I am keeping track of everything. So, first pair of socks we have, I have them all piled over on a bench here, not a bench, a footrest, is in my pink Dalek bag from Tangerine Designs. Rachel and I went shopping the other day, and we were going into Walmart, so I decided to leave my socks in the car. And I always have this, I don't know if it's rational or irrational, fear that somebody's going to break into my car and steal my socks. I'm serious. I actually think about this. So I was like, we were walking away, and I'm like, oh, I hope nobody breaks into the car and steals my socks. And I said, what am I talking about? They're going to be terrified of the Daleks. The Daleks will protect my socks. Anyway, these are my time traveler socks. These are some vanilla socks that I am doing. They're going to have an afterthought heel, and they are out of Knit Picks Felici in the self-striping colorway of Time Traveler. And these are, I'm doing them cuff down. Oh, there we go. Cuff down. This is a Doctor Who inspired colorway. And then where the green line is where I'm going to put the heel in. And this is where I was last time you saw them. And that's the progress that I've made. So not a whole lot of progress on this one particular sock, but you'll see why coming up. So I am loving this project. My goal for this week is to have this sock done, toe and heel. That's the goal for this week. I'm not going to work on every pair of socks every week. In fact, 3 of the pairs of socks I have on the needles I didn't get to this week. So not every pair is going to be shown every week. Don't worry. All right. So that is pair number 1 out of 9. Pair number 2 is in a bag that Am I Yes I Am Suzanne made for me a long time ago for a swap. I think it was for a swap, pretty sure. In my favorite colors. And these are toe up socks. The yarn is Drops Fable in the guacamole colorway. And last week you saw just a toe. I'm doing them from the toe up. And you can see how much progress I've made. I am at the point where I'm going to be starting the increases. Excuse me. These are going to be gusset heel, so that I'm getting ready to start the gusset increases. So that's the point I am at right now. Very easy. Vanilla, super easy. I'm trying to do a variety, not just toe up, not just cuff down, not just DPNs, not just circulars, trying to mix it up, you know, each pair a little bit different. So that's pair number 2. Pair number 3, I have what I call my Spaceman bag. And this is from the Etsy shop for Knit Run Dig, who is also a podcaster, and you should watch her because she's awesome. And her podcast is about art, has a section about archaeology, which is totally interesting, and she's in England. So this pair of socks got the most love this week. And they are my second favorite pair of socks ever. My first pair of socks has to be my John John socks that Desert Vista Dye Works dyed the colorway for me in the John John colorway. But this is my second favorite pair ever. Ready? Ready? Okay, last week you saw that much. Look how much I got done! I'm actually on the gusset decreases. I love these socks. So this is where I was last week. I was just starting the black, or was almost to the black. And this is yarn by Fiber Nymph. Fiber Nymph Dye Works. And I am doing a heel flap. I don't care about if the stripes get broken up. That doesn't bother me. So, and in fact, I think the second sock I might wind the color stripe so it stripes in the opposite direction. So instead of being gold, blue, red, it would be red, blue, gold. Live on the wild side. So this is Fiber Nymph Dye Works in her, I think it's her Dazzle base. Do I have the thing in here? Bedazzled, that's what it's called. Her Bedazzled base. This is the yarn. Oh, I love it. So this is the pair that got the most love this week. You can tell I cannot wait to finish these socks. I told my daughter I would marry these socks if I wasn't already married. Okay, yes, I'm crazy. And so that is what I call my Spaceman bag, Star Trekky yarn. Oh, and that pattern is the ridged feather, yes, ridged feather pattern to make the zigzags from Sensational Knitted Socks book. Next we have in my Girl Cave bag, my Flamingos Girl Cave bag. This is dyed by Desert Vista Dye Works. It's the Jelly Bean colorway. I have 3 pairs of socks on the needles from Desert Vista Dye Works. Bandit's coming out here! Bandit! Hi! Hi! Come here! it must be thundering. He never comes out here unless it thunders. I'll be done in a few minutes, baby. He's not going to come over here. So this is the jelly bean colorway. And of course I love it. And this pattern is Welt Fantastic, which is also from the Sensational Knitted Socks book. And it's really good for self-striping yarn because look how it's making it zigzag like that. The purple's not really showing up in it very much, but this stripe right here, right above the pink, is purple. It's just the lighting today is not that great. There we go. Love, 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 love these. And so that is number 4. Number 5, I have in a bag that is just a little, I started running out of project bags. Just a little generic bag from Interweave. Has a yarn ball on the front. This is the Desert Vista Dye Works colorway called a Pineapple Upside Down Cake. She has a dessert line, and I have 2 of the colorways from that. So this is on double points, so I have it in my handy dandy double point tube, which I am very much in love with because it protects my needles. And so this is the Pineapple Upside Down Cake. I actually won this yarn from her because she has contests all the time. And we had to list what our favorite desserts were. And this is my favorite cake ever, is Pineapple Upside Down Cake. Love it. When I was growing up, my grandma would make it a lot, and that was my favorite. So here we go. You can see it's 2 shades of golden color and 1 shade of red. I cannot see any clouds from where I'm sitting, so I don't know where the thunder is coming from. It must be back behind the house. Beautiful. And these are my Knitter's Pride double pointed needles, which I really like. What is this stuck on? Oh, it's stuck in the pin. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so that is, and Rachel's home. That is pair number 5. I'm going to put these over here since they're double points. Don't want to spend the time to put them back in the tube, but I don't want them to break. And then the last pair I'm going to show you today is in my Christmas Flamingos bag from Knitting's My Bag. I use this bag all year. I don't care if it is Christmas. And this is another color by Desert Vista Dye Works, and this is Carrot Cake. And this one I bought because this is also one of my favorite desserts, but I had to buy this one in honor of my bunny John John because he loves carrot cake. That's his favorite. Yes, I know he's not a real rabbit, but still. John John is my stuffed bunny, in case you're wondering and you're new. He's my stuffed bunny. So I love this colorway because I love this light section. It's got the orange flecks in there, and I love it. Love it. Okay, now I have 3 pairs that I didn't work on this week. And it just so happens that all 3 of them are in my own colorways. I don't know how that worked out. And I have 1 more pair that I want to cast on within the next few weeks. So that would be 10. I have 9 currently. And what did my strategy is I'm trying to work on right now as many of the fancier sock patterns that, you know, require looking at a chart or whatever now. And when I'm in Atlanta, and also while Sarah's home, and also Tour de Fleece, I'll work on some vanilla socks. That way I can make more progress with them that way. So that's my strategy right now. So you will not see all of these socks next week, only the ones that I work on. So, and I'm just working on whatever my mood says to work on. That's how things are going. All right. I think that's it about Sockstravaganza. Are you thinking I need to be putting home? I can't help it. I'm excited. All right. I told you I love socks. That's just, socks are my roots. That's where my knitting life began. Really with dishcloths, but socks. All right. Upcoming knit-alongs, crochet-alongs, and events. Tour de Fleece starts Saturday, June 29th. I am going to be doing daily podcasts since I should be home by then from Atlanta. I'm still leaning towards spinning enough for a sweater, and I'm leaning towards like an aqua, teal, turquoise colorway. Um, so we'll see what happens with that. I've been stuck on that for a week, so that might be where I end up. We'll see. Um, September, October, November, I am going to be having a hat, mitten, and scarf drive for Pinellas Hope, which is a local homeless shelter, any age, any gender, and you can start now. And then in September, October, November, I'll be collecting them, and there will be prizes. And also in September, October, November, we will have a knit along for the Bee Leaf Half Pie Shawl, which is my own design. And now we're going to do a book review. I'm going to do each week for as many sock books as I have, which is a few. I'm going to be reviewing a different book. This week I'm doing Joy of Socks. Now this book is a play on words for a famous book called The Joy of Sex. So there are some sexual connotations, I guess you could say, in this book. But none are in bad taste. It's really done in a very cute way. So you can see like some of the pictures are just really cute of a boy and a girl, but they're not like, you know, overly graphic or anything like that. Here's the table of contents. And there are names like A Roll in the Hay, Breakfast in Bed, Quickie, Toe to Toe, Makeup Socks, makeup sex, makeup socks, puppy love, different things like that. So I'm going to show you some of my favorites, most of which I do want to knit. A couple I really love, but I won't be knitting. So the beginning of the book, she really does talk about a lot of good sock information. She talks about sock construction, how to work with DPNs, how to work with two circulars. She has a couple of charts that talk about a person's foot length and circumference and what shoe size they wear and stuff like that. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that beginning part. She talks about different cast-ons. She even shows how to do some of the cast-ons, like the Turkish cast-on and the figure 8 cast-on, the magic cast-on, and also how to bind off. She does give different tips, and then we get into the socks. Like this one is called A Roll in the Hay. And she has very simple socks all the way to very complicated socks. And each of the pair of socks is by a different designer. Linda Cobb, is the one who put the book together, but each of them is by a different designer. So, for example, this Roll in the Hay is by Gina House. And so the next pair of socks I wanted to show you, these are definitely on my list to make. They are called, whoops, Two to Tango, and it's hard to tell, but those are actually Fair Isle fish, the green part. I think they should have used a little bit better contrasting yarn to show it, but those are fish, and if you know me at all, you know I love fish with lips. These fish don't have lips, but that's okay. This next picture is from the cover, and I love them. I don't know if I will ever make them, but I just love them. I love the color. I love everything about those. Maybe if I start taking yoga or something like that. The next pair I want to show you, I don't know if I'll make them, but I really, really love them. These socks call to me. These are called Breakfast in Bed, and they are color work, and I love them. And then we have, this is more something I would be likely to make because it's simpler, and I really like geometric shapes. This is called Toe to Toe. So this is also color work, but it's squares, and I can handle that. Never say never, though. In a few years I might decide I really, really need to make those. This pair of socks is called Puppy Love. That's not a very good picture, though. I want to show you the next picture. That's a cute little doggy. There's a picture that I like. And you can see they've got the Pico cuff. Again, I like them because they're geometric. And I also like them because they made them in green. She talks about something that a lot of people either love or hate, and that is pooling. And she calls it predictable patterns. And this is an article in here by Laura Bryant. And she shows different swatches with the same yarn and the different pooling, striping, argyle effects that you will get with that yarn. So that's actually a really interesting article to read in there. Some people love pooling, some people hate it. I like it. Okay, this last pair that I'm going to show you, I love. And if you want to knit them for me, feel free. I don't know that I'll ever knit them. I would love to, though. But they're just not practical for me. I don't know when and where I would ever wear them, but they're gorgeous. I love them. They are called Snow Bunny. And they are Fair Isle hot pink with hearts. I love them so much. Let's see. Here's a different picture. I just think those are so, so pretty. I just don't practically see me. I'm trying not to give away very much of the pattern, but look at that. Gorgeous, right? I just don't know when I would ever wear knee highs. I think I'm 47. I think I'm too old for knee highs. Unless they're the support hose kind. Okay, so that is the joy of socks. There are many socks in here that I didn't show you. I'm not really into cables, so there are a lot of cable socks in here that I just don't have any interest in. Who knows? Again, in a few years, I might be obsessed with cables, and I will have to revisit the socks in this book. But I highly recommend it. I like the fact that it's hardcover, but I do not like the way it's bound. It's got it squeaks when you turn the pages, and they don't always turn smoothly. I know it's so you can lie it flat like that, but I just don't. I'm not crazy about that. I do like the fact that it's hardcover, though. There you go. All right. What is next? Oh, spinning. I did some spinning this week. I figured I better start warming up my muscles for the Tour de Fleece, which is coming up. It runs along with the Tour de France. And as I mentioned earlier, it starts on Saturday, the 29th of June. And I wanted to finish what was on the wheel. So this was gifted to me. This fiber was gifted to me from Heather, who is Heather WB. And this was, I believe, from Wool Gatherings. I misplaced the tag. It's somewhere in this room. I misplaced the tag, but what is the term? How I did this? Fractal spun that. And I think I like how it turned out. So it's been resting on the bobbin for a couple of days, so I can take it off the bobbin and skein it up. So I will show it after I put it in the skein. But it's different shades of pink, peach, orange, red. Really pretty. So thank you, Heather, again for that. And the next thing on the wheel, because I do want to do something in between now and when the tour starts, or would that just be crazy? No, I think I could do something. Maybe the stuff I bought at Stitches. I bought the hydrangea colorway from, I can't remember who the dyer was. But anyway, that's probably what will be next. All right, that was a very brief spinning section, right? Next, let's talk about stash enhancement. I was gifted a couple of patterns this week. First, Retro Lemon sent me her Retro Lemon mystery shawl, which should be released soon. And thank you very much, Jenna, for that. And also Heather WB bought me a pattern called Cables How I Love Thee from Julie Reeves Design, and that is a sock pattern. And they're actually really cute. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really into cables, but I think I might give these a shot. You never know. I just haven't really ever been impressed with cables, so maybe it is time to revisit cables and see what I think about them. Because as you grow as a knitter, things you didn't like before you might like now. Just like certain foods you didn't like when you were growing up, you might like them now. My last thing of stash enhancement, I actually got at Walmart. And if you've been watching for a while, hold on, my nose is itching. I can tell I'm about to sneeze. Allergies. If you've been watching for a while, I've been making these little tiny socks to make myself an advent calendar, and I've gotten like what 5 or 6 done. But my whole intention all along is I want to get either a ribbon or braid some ribbon or something like that, or braid some yarn and make a long string to hang on the wall and then hang the socks from little clothespins. Well, I got these clothespins at Walmart in the office supply area, and if they are in a little container like this, they had smaller ones that come 24 to a box, but I was like, I will for certain lose some of those. So I don't want to get exactly 24 because then if I lose one or break one, I don't have enough. So these were a little bit bigger and they came 20 to a box. I got 2 boxes and I'll take one out, hopefully. So these are little tiny clothespins. They're adorable. These would be really cute if you were to maybe put a magnet on the back and then use them on your fridge to clip pictures or something like that. Adorable. So I got those, like I said, at Walmart in the office supply section. Okay. Oh, my nose. Gosh. Annoying. Okay. Tips and tricks. Tips and tricks this week. I had a question from Paula from Alaska, who is PJ Crossan. And she says, I am very curious about the types of needles everyone is using and why they like them. There are so many brands and types. I would like to hear what methods are used too. I plan to try different kinds of needles and methods and would love to have a help/info discussion going. So I am going to open a thread. Sorry, nose. Open a thread in the Sock Bunny group where you could talk about your sock. Not necessarily sock needles, but I'm going to say let's start off talking about what are your favorite sock needles, what are sock needles you don't like, what brands do you like, do you like DPNs, do you like 2 circulars, do you like one long circular for magic loop, do you like 2 at a time, do you like 1 at a time, do you like 2 simultaneously? So you could chime in and say what you like, and I will open up that thread. It probably will be up by the time you are watching this. Lolo Bar is my favorite thing of the week. I earned with my fitness points a luxury item, I guess you could call it, and I decided to order a Lolo Bar because I've been hearing them for a long time be advertised on the Knitmore Girls, and also Tina from Knitting Bloom advertises for them and raves about them. So I went ahead and ordered one. Oops, here we go. And I got one that is called Vanilla Moon, and I really liked. I've never even really looked at their website, but when you order it, you can pick what kind of label you want. You pick the scent that you want. They put a joke or a saying inside. You could pick what kind you want for that. There's a whole bunch of different options that you can choose, so it's really a customizable product. I've been using it for about a week, I guess. I got it just over a week ago, and I really like it. Some people have complained that when they use the bars like this, the tin gets all messed up on the outside, like all yucky, but I haven't had that experience. Um, so inside they put these little pieces of paper, and mine has a joke because you could pick if you want a joke or a saying or whatever, and I picked a joke, and mine says, "Where do pigs park at?" And the answer is in a parking lot. So that was the tissue paper or whatever that goes on top. And I've been using it for a few days, so it doesn't look pristine, but this is what it looks like. And I've never actually even seen one before. I've just keep hearing about them. And I did try it after a shower one day. They say you can, after you get out of the shower, you while you're still wet, rub it all over. And I really could tell the next day that I still felt soft. And basically what I've just been doing is keeping it near my knitting chair here and sort of rubbing it on my hands like a bar of soap. Oh, my nose. And then just rubbing it in. And they say that as soon as you stop rubbing, it will soak in, absorb in. I notice it does take a couple of minutes to soak in, but maybe like 2 minutes. And then I just put the thing back on. And I have to wipe my nose again. Sorry, people. So I'm really happy with it. It's all natural ingredients. And if you show it right side up, if you want to order them, they are at bar-maids.com. I know they vend at a lot of like knitting events and stuff, but they've never been to. Well, I've only ever been to 2 knitting events. They weren't at either one of those. So, and their shipping was very reasonable. So I am very satisfied with my purchase. Okay, so that is my favorite thing of the week. And like I said, I earned that with some of my fitness miles. What I'm watching and reading, I am on Star Trek the Original Series, my second time through watching, and I am on season 2. I am watching a Ken Burns documentary on New York City, and I think there are 8 episodes, and I've watched 7 of those. I have 1 left. And I am very happy to announce that Claire from the Student Knits podcast has made another episode and is back to podcasting, and I'm very happy about that. I always tease her that I am her American mom. She's about the same age as my older daughter because she's finishing up college, and Sarah has 1 more year of college. And Claire always misses her mom when she's away from her, so she sort of reminds me of my daughter. So I always tell her that she's my daughter and I'm her American mom. She's my British daughter. So I guess that's it. Don't forget the next shop update will be Sunday, June 23rd at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, and the shop will be, no, sorry, it'll be June 16th. Yes, June 16th at 2 o'clock Eastern. The shop will be closed June 23rd through approximately the 28th or thereabouts. Whenever I get home, I'll open it back up. Don't forget to post your workouts. Don't forget to knit socks for Sockstravaganza, and you can tag your project Sockstravaganza if you want to. Don't forget to post in the what kind of needles do you like discussion in the Sock Buddy group. And don't forget to go ask a question in the thread called Ask Sock Buddy. So that's it for this week. I hope you have a great week. Keep on crafting. Bye.